Good afternoon, Anita ji.
Hi. Do you hear me? You can see the screen and you can hear me very well.
Yes.
That's awesome. We'll wait for 1 more minute.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start. As usual, we'll start with a prayer. Sit comfortably and close your eyes, palms together. Seek the guidance from gurus and the gods. Once you feel you're finished, slowly open your eyes. Oh, everybody was fine, I guess. Okay, as usual, we'll start with our good ritual. We'll revise the, we'll have a revision for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Then we will get into our syllabus. Okay, any volunteers? You see this PowerPoint, right? You can hear me as well? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Any volunteers to read this?
Hello, madam.
Yeah, we'll directly go into the Sanskrit and the English one. When you read this one, read it as an Aries Mesha, Taurus Vrishaba, Gemini Mithuna, Cancer Karka, Leo Simha, like that. Anyone?
Okay.
Very quickly.
You want me to read?
Yes, yes. Anyone can. If
Yes.
you like, please go ahead.
Mesha,
Hmm.
Taurus, Vrishaba, Gemini, Mithuna, Cancer, Karka,
Hmm.
Leo, Simha,
Mhm.
Virgo, Kanya,
Hmm.
Libra, Tula,
Hmm.
Scorpio, Vrikshik,
Hmm.
Sagittarius, Dhanu,
Hmm.
Capricorn, Makkar,
Hmm.
Aquarius, Kumbh,
Hmm.
Pisces, Meena.
That's awesome.
Right.
Okay. Now we'll read in such a way that you can read it as an Aries, the Aries, or you can mention it as the Sanskrit name. Why I didn't mention the Sanskrit name? We want to explicitly say without in the PowerPoint itself. For example, the first house is the Mesha, second is the Rishabha, and third is the Mithuna, fourth is the Kadaka, fifth is the Simha. So right now, I believe everybody can remember all the zodiac signs in memory. So in that sense, what I thought, instead of reading the English names is for our reference, but you have to say it in the Sanskrit name. How are you going to say this? The owner of the Mesha and the Vrikshika is Mars. The owner of the Rishabha, Tula, is Venus. The owner of the Mithuna and Kanya is Mercury. Okay. From next week onwards, we are going to mention all the planets' name in Sanskrit as well. Okay. Now today, let's make it as in English. From next week onwards, we are going to read all the thing in the Sanskrit as well. Like Mars is Sevai, Mangal, Venus, Shukran, Budan. So like that, we are going to name it as a Sanskrit name as well. Okay. Anyone volunteer to read this? You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Aries and Scorpio.
No English. It's Sanskrit name. It's
Okay.
English name is
Okay.
for your reference. Remember the Sanskrit. Yeah.
Mars is the owner of Mesha and Vrishchika. Venus is the owner of Rishabha and Tula.
Hmm.
And Mercury is the owner of Mithuna and Kanya.
Hmm.
Moon is the owner of Karka.
Hmm.
Sun is the owner of Simha.
Hmm.
Jupiter is the owner of Dhanusha and Meena.
Guru.
And Saturn is the owner of Makara and Kumbha.
Awesome. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Okay. Okay. Now this is the Bhava. Okay. Later point in time, we will going to understand how the zodiac signs become Bhava. Then that's why we are going to mug up this one. Even though if it was alien at the beginning, but when we are reading often, it becomes very fluent to us. Okay. So how we are going to read this? The first bhava is the self physical body general characters. Second bhava, second house for wealth, family, speech, resource. Third house for siblings and courage, like that. Anyone volunteer read this? You have to read 12 houses. Go ahead. Anyone?
Vanita, I got cut off. I couldn't hear all what you said. Can you please
Oh.
mention it again about this slide?
Okay. This is about one first house, second house, third house, right? We are going to read. First house is for self, physical body, general characters. Second house is for wealth, family, and speech. Third
Okay.
house for sibling courage. Like that, you have to read all 12 houses.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, anyone can read. If you like, please go ahead.
Okay. The first house is for self,
Hmm.
physical body, and the general
Light
character.
ಹಾಕಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಳು ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
What is that? Maybe he's speaking to someone. You go ahead, please.
Okay. Second house is for wealth, family, speech, and resources. Third is for siblings and courage. Fourth is for mother, peace,
Peace.
happiness, education, and comfort. Fifth is for children,
Hmm.
fame, talent, and emotions.
Hmm.
Sixth is for enemies, obstacles, disease, and accidents.
Hmm.
Seventh is for relationships, spouse, and partners.
Hmm.
Eighth is for longevity, troubles, secrets, occult, and in-laws.
Hmm.
Ninth is for guru, father, luck, fortunes, and dharma.
Hmm.
10th is for work,
Hmm.
career, power, and status.
Hmm.
11th house is for income, friends, and elder brother.
Hmm.
12th house is for losses, donation, sacrifice, spirituality, imprisonment, and foreign lands.
That's totally awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, now this is for every zodiac signs relevant with our body. So how we are going to read? Mesha for the head, Vrishabha, neck and the throat, Midhuna, lungs, arms, and shoulders. So like that, you have to read all the 12 zodiac signs. Anyone?
Can I read it?
Yes, please go ahead. You don't need to ask me. Just go ahead.
Yes. So Aries or Mesha is for the head.
Hmm.
Taurus or Vrishabha is for the neck and throat. Gemini or Midhuna is for the lungs, arms, and shoulders.
Hmm.
Cancer or Karaka is for the chest, breast, and stomach.
Hmm.
Leo or Simha is for the head, heart, and upper back.
Hmm.
Virgo or Kanya is for the abdomen and digestive system.
Hmm.
Libra or Tura is for kidneys and lumbar region.
Hmm.
Scorpio or Vrishchika is for the genitals.
Hmm.
Sagittarius or Dhanusha is for the hips and thighs.
Hmm.
Capricorn or Makara is for the knees and bones.
Hmm.
Aquarius or Kumbha is for the calves, shins, and ankles.
Hmm.
And Pisces or Meena is for the feet.
That's awesome. Okay. Okay, no, not this one. Okay, that is about the 2 days. There was one more revision. This is about our. I opened. Give me a second.
ಬಾ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಸ ತುಂಬು ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ ನೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ.
We also hearing you. But we didn't understand what you're saying. But somewhat we we know something is going.
Vanita ji, can you share the slides once again?
The one, the previous one.
All of them, whatever you've showed us today.
Okay.
Just for a second each.
Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to share the other one. Give me 1 second. Okay, you want to see the revision PowerPoint one more time? This one?
Yes. Next. Next.
Okay.
Got it.
That's it.
Got it.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, now, this is a later point in upcoming classes. We are going to revise in such a way that this is the beginning of our revision because we already grown up for 2 months. So we are leaving the PowerPoint for in short while, not immediately in a short while. But later point in time, we are going to revise like this. Okay. So last week, I shared with this Excel sheet, right? How you are going to use this one, I thought to tell you this week only. So if you see that the first tab is contain the template. Okay. The template is for your usage. You can mark your birth chart here, or you can use this template for every time whenever you are practicing. For that, I make it as an empty template for you. Okay, then the 12 Rasis. Like here you can see only the Sanskrit name and the English name for quick reference. However, we want to revise immediately, you just go ahead and see the second tab. Okay, then the third tab will mention only the elements. In the previous class, the last class, the 2 weeks back, we learned about every zodiac sign or every houses belongs to one or the other one, any one of the 5 elements. Okay, except Akash, the 4 elements involved in all the zodiac signs, orderly assigned. What is the meaning of orderly assigned? For example, Agni, earth, air, water. The same sequence will repeat for the next Agni, air, water. Again, Agni, air, water. So the 3 times it is repeated, it was orderly placed. Okay. So that is for the third tab, the qualities. Okay, now here comes our lesson begins now. Okay, before I'm coming into this one, anyway, we are going to this part I coming into when we are opening the lesson. Someone was, give me a second, I mute. Okay. I come back to the same fourth tab again one more time. Okay, in a few minutes. Let's revise the last one. Okay, in the previous week, we revised till the relationship and the colors. Okay, how we are going to revise this one? Every planet belongs to any in the 9 planets belongs to every elements in the world. Whatever, wherever, in other words, what you can say, wherever the prana was there, definitely the elements the graha will be there. What is the meaning of that? The prana will be not present in only in the living being. Prana will be present in all the beings, living beings, non-living beings, everything. So all the grahas is also present in each and everything. So we still have okay, I'm noting. Okay. So how we are going to read this this one particular page? This is going to grow in different ways. For example, now the last week read about how the relationship on the planets was related, how the colors in the planets are related. Now we are going to, this week we are going to read how the metals and the planets are related. What is it meaning? Every metal will have the different, all number of the planets influences. But for example, if you take the gold and the copper, the dominance of the sun planets is high. Okay. And here the gold is the important one. Okay. For example, if you have a very small gold, that belongs to the Chukiran because it was a shiny materials. But if you have a huge gold, that belongs to the Guru also. That belongs to the dominance. It also comes from the sun's energy. So then the moon will have the silver and the aluminium. Moon is already, the color was the white, it was a milky white. Whatever that element is predominantly in the silver and the aluminium. Then the Mars goes to the copper, Mercury bronze, and Jupiter gold and the brass. Okay, the bronze and the brass, you have the understanding, right? The brass is the combination of copper and the tin, and the bronze is the combination. I forgot the combination, but there was a two combination between this bronze and the brass. Okay, but for the Mercury it was the bronze, and Jupiter it was the brass, as well as the most importantly the dominance is in the gold. For example, if you have the huge gold, I mean enormous gold, definitely there is the Guru's energy was high. And the Venus, anything which is shining, any metal which is shining, that belongs to Venus only. Diamond.
Neetaji, 1 minute. When you say when you have enormous gold, does it mean I'm having a bigger piece of gold? Then how do you interpret that? I'm not sorry, I'm not able to understand.
Okay, here the point here is considered the gold energy belongs to Guru only. Guru or the sun. The dominance of these two planets will be high in the gold. But for example, if you have a gold, for example, very tiny gold, okay, you have very 1 gram or 2 gram, then that point, the energy will goes to the Chukran. Very small gold means then that dominance is not for the Guru, that dominance is for the other planet. But if you have the number of the grams, if you have the 100 grams of the gold or 10 grams of the gold, more quantities of the gold in your hand, then the Guru's energy will be high. The dominance of the Guru's energy in that metal will be high. But forgot about all the things which I said earlier. Remember, the gold, the dominance is Guru only, Jupiter only. Remember in a simplest way. Gold means immediately comes, your Guru will comes. Guru or this.
Okay, one more question then. If I want to, for any reason, let us say, I want to have the, what do you say, the Krupa, the, what do you say, the Guru's influence I need to have or I need to enhance. Do you mean to say by increase in the gold quantity in my hand or with me, I will enhance the power of the Guru, planet Guru? I mean,
exactly.
Jupiter?
Exactly. Okay. Yes, you do. Okay. But that is also, that was only one point. But remember, whenever the astrology is not on the only one, okay, the point here is the fact
one of
here
the
is
aspect,
only one. Yeah, only one aspect is Guru. If you want to increase the Guru's energy, have a gold. Okay, in olden times, what they will do, I mean, not in the olden times, in southern part of India, I don't know about the other parts of India, but in southern part of India, gold plays the biggest role. What they will do, the gold will be inherited from their grandmother to the grandmother. They inherit from all the way to number of the generations. Mostly they won't give the gold outside because they need the Guru's energy. They want have the good dominance of the energy in their home. They always withhold the gold. Okay. So, okay.
Vinika, I have a question. You could have gold, but you may not wear it. So you have to wear it, is it?
Okay, that is also depends on, that comes into it depends on the individual's energy. Okay. Some people in your chart, you have to understand what kind of the gem, what kind of the metal will be good influence in you. Some people have naturally they have the Guru's energy. They don't need that kind of the gold wearing in their body because the cosmic energy was really high. They can absorb the Guru's energy very easily. Okay. Okay.
Sorry to disturb you again and again. On a lighter note, can we have is that corollary of this theory is true too? Like if my Guru is dominant, can I'm supposed to get, or I naturally get a lot of gold? Can I say that?
No. That aspect was different. For example, if your Guru's, if you're in your chart, the Guru's dominance was high means you will meet different Gurus. You will get knowledge from everything.
Okay.
For example, you meet some people, you don't know about them. You really don't know about them, but you will get a knowledge. You will get wisdom at every point. Even when you're cooking, when you're walking, you will get a wisdom. Okay. Why? Because the universe was giving that kind of the wisdoms from each and everything from the cosmic energy. You just sit in the playground or you just look into the sky, you will get a wisdom. So that is the blessings of the Guru. It's difference from one thing, one aspect to another. But when coming to the metals, what I'm saying, the dominance is high. It's not
Vinita, they say when you want a guru, the guru appears. Is it something like that?
That strategy was extremely different. Okay, when we speak about the guru planet, right, I will tell you in a different way. But
Okay.
let's narrow down our topic into the metal only, because when comes into an astrology, when you are speaking into a metal, when you are speaking into any kind of the topic, the astrology basic thing is it easily divert you, it easily deviate you, because the one thing was related with one another. Okay, let's narrow down our interest only to the metal. If you're having a gold, yes, the guru dominance will be high. Okay, let's make it as a very simple. Okay, let's come back to our lesson. I hope I answered all your question. The Venus, when it comes into the Venus, all the shiny materials belongs to the Venus. Okay, like diamond, silver, platinum, white gold, nothing but platinum, right? It's all the Venus property, Venus dominance will be very much high. Okay, let's come into the Saturn. The Saturn is iron. Okay, when you see if you are in your home, the peoples will say don't put the unnecessary iron in any part of the home. If it was necessary, if it was usable, it is on regular basis you are using that, put the iron in the home. Otherwise, don't put unnecessary iron in the home. They usually tell like that, right? It's because the dominance of the Saturn in the iron is really high. Suppose some people didn't have the Saturn dominance, what they will do, they have placed the iron at one particular place. Okay, that's the different story. I leave that. But here, the iron dominance in the Saturn's dominance or Saturn's influence in the iron metal is high. Okay, let's come into the Rahu. Rahu is the lead. And the Ketu is the iron rust. I don't know how to say this, but when you put the iron for a very long time, it becomes the rust will form on the top of the iron, right? That rust is also Ketu. Ketu property will come. And any kind of an alloys is also Ketu. Okay, this one, why we need to understand this kind of the metal, this kind of the color and the relationship? Because later point in time, when you are trying to analyze your chart, you have to understand what kind of the dominance on and that particular house, what kind of the influence was having at that point in time. So for that, we have to understand all the things in our life. Later point in time, we are going to, this particular table will going to have the grains and different chart. Okay, this table will definitely grow very long. So we'll learn every week only one column. So I encourage you to at least read once. I encourage you to read it twice, because we have 1 week of the time. At least read twice a time. You don't need to mug up anything, but just go through once or twice. Okay, that will help. Okay, now we are coming into exact lesson. Okay, I stop here for a while. I shared other chart. Okay, today is very interesting one. The last week today is the 8th week class, and this week is really we are entering into the Jyotish. Okay. Give me a second. The Kalapurusha chart, already we understand about what is the Kalapurusha. What does that mean? In the cosmic energy, the time of the cosmic energy, we defined as the Kalapurusha. If you are going into a temple, you may see the Kala Bhairava statue in. I would say I can see that in the southern Indian temples mostly. They have the Kala Bhairava temple. They separately have the Kala Bhairava statue in the temple itself. What's that mean? They pray for the Kalapurusha. Kalapurusha means the cosmic man, the time as the cosmic man. Okay, consider he's the person. How I imagine, right? Imagine you're living in the earth, and the 360-degree was expand across you. Then it was divided into 12 parts. then your first house, the first ray of the sunlight which falls on the Mesha, that becomes your first house. What is that meaning? The Kalapurusha's first house is Mesha, starts from here. Okay, that's why it's mentioned as the 1. Then the second, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it comes to 12. So the first house is the Mesha. Remember here, what are the things you have to remember here? First thing, it belongs to the, what are the 5 among the 5 elements, it belongs to Agni. And what is its properties? It's a movable? Yes, it is movable. Okay, then what is the male and the female energy? Okay, let's come in to understand about the male and the female energy first. Okay, when we see the chart as the male or the female, it doesn't mean he is the girl or the boy or the lady or the woman. It doesn't mean like that. When they say it is a male or the female, you have to understand an energetic level. What is the meaning of energy level? Male means he's very strong and he is like a very majestic look, and he was he have a dominance character, and he knows how to move, how to strongly move anything like that. But when it comes into the female energy will come. It is not that. You may also heard this. Every woman was having a male energy, every female was having a male energy. So it was like the 2 energy. The female and the male will be how it was distinguished. When the female energy was the high, then they consider as the female. When the male energy was the dominance, then they consider as the male. But according to here, it's not about the gender. It's about the energetic level. You have to understand at the energetic level, not on the physical level. Like how you see a man or woman, boy or girl, you should not see in such a way. You have to see it as an energetic level. I hope you understand this point. So when it was say male means they are very forceful. They are really, really strong. They are straightforward. They know what they want to achieve in the next step. Okay, they won't be very subtle. They are very, very direct. Okay, let's come into the Mesha. What are the things we are having to understand here? The first house name is the Mesha, and the element is the Agni, and it's a movable property, and it is the male energy. And beyond this, who's the owner? Mars. That till here we know. Today, what we are going to understand is exalted and depleted. What is that meaning of exalted and depleted? For owner of the house, let's understand what is the owner of the house. Owner of the house means when the Mesha and the Mars is also in the Mesha, that means the benefit we are going to get is 80%. Consider it as an 80%. Let's make it as a numeric value. Okay, 80%. When I say exalted means it went into the energy level, was the benefit of that planet and that zodiac sign was really, really high, more than the owner. What does that mean? If the owner of the Mesha is the Mars, considered in numbers, 80%. Okay. When the Mesha, the sun is exalted in Mars. Sorry, the sun is exalted in Mesha. What is that meaning? It gives the benefit more than your owner. Who's the owner? Owner is the Mars. Okay. So if the owner is the 80%, exalted sun is the 100%. That means in Tamil they will say so Vucham, Nicham. They call it as exalted means the benefit will be high, and the depleted means the benefit will be very low. It's opposite to your benefit. Okay. So what are the things here you have to understand? Mars is the owner of the Mesha, and the exalted is sun, and the depleted is the Saturn. Okay, these 3 things you have to understand. Then when you are coming into all the 12 zodiac signs, we can easily understand that. Okay, let's come into the Vrishabha. Vrishabha is the earth element, and it is a fixed in nature. One simple point you have to understand here is this: the Vrishabha peoples are very good in planning. Very good means very good in planning, and they won't do any action without thinking. They do everything in a very proper manner. That's why their planning strategies are really good. Okay, the owner of the Rishabha is the Venus, and here exalted is Moon. Moon is exalted, there was no depletion. Depleted planets, there is no planets or depleted here. Owner is Venus, exalted is Moon. And come into Mithuna. Mithuna, we know the Mercury is the owner. Okay, then air is the element, dual nature. What is that meaning? It won't be fixed. It's a semi-fixed, semi-movable. It can be moved, it can be fixed. Okay, the nature is the one or the other. Okay, male energy. If you can see how you can easily remember whether it is a male or female. Remember, it was an alternate one. Start with a male, and every zodiac sign, male, female, it will goes with an alternate one. Okay. Now in the Mithuna, the important here is owner of the house is the owner of this Mithuna is Mercury. There is no exalted, no depleted planets. Okay. When coming to the Karkataka, that is the Cancer, the element is water, movable in nature. Why I'm going very much speed? Because we understand all the movable, fixed, dual properties in the last class. So that's why I'm really going fast. But I hope you understand that property really well. So the element is water, movable, and the female energy. Okay, these people are really motherly in nature. Their nurturing qualities was really high. And here, the owner of the house is Moon. The Karka's owner is Moon. Exalted is Jupiter, and the depleted is Mars. Okay, here, one thing you have to understand. Remember this one. Consider when I say the till we come into the four zodiac signs, right? Let's understand. Go through one more time. When I say that in the Mesha, exalted is Sun, depleted is Saturn. Okay, now we are going to exactly 180 degree. Okay, when you're coming into 190 degree, that is the 7th. How you can come in the chart? How you can come into 180 degree? If you are in the first house, go to exactly to the 7th house. That is your 190 degree. Okay. Now in the Mesha, we are coming into the 190 degree. That is the 7th house. If you see, it becomes Ulta. Here, the sun is exalted. Here, the sun is depleted. Here, the Saturn is depleted in Mesha. In Tula, the Saturn is exalted. Okay, so you can understand. You can easily understand. If you remember 6 things, then you can easily remember other 6 things. How you can remember? Go exactly to the 7th house. For example, Mesha, 7th is the Tula is the 7th house. Now come into the Vrishabha. If the exalted is Moon, depleted no, then the same thing when you're coming into what is the 7th house for the Rishabha? 7th house for the Rishabha is the Vrikshika. So that is the 8th house. So 2nd house, 7th house is 8th house. So here depleted is Moon, but in Rishabha it is exalted is Moon. Okay, it becomes Ulta. Okay. Now see the Mithuna. There was no exalted, no depleted. So if you can go and see the Mithuna, exactly the 7th house, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Dhanu. In Dhanush, if you see, there was no exalted, depleted. Okay. Now come into the Karkataka. Exalted is Jupiter, depleted is Mars. Go exactly 180 degree. Here, Makara, in the Makara, exalted is Mars, depleted is Jupiter. If you see, it works opposite to each other. Okay. Till here you understand? Okay, I believe you guys understand or I'm really teaching well. Let's see. 5th house is the Leo. Element is the Agni, fixed property, and the male energy. Here the sun, there was no exalted, no depleted. Okay. There are the 3 houses we will see later. They are special houses. There is no exalted. There is 4 houses. There is no exalted, depleted. Okay, later on. One is the Mithuna, second is the Simha. We are going to see 2 more. Okay. Now let's see exactly 7th house from the Simha. If you see the Kumbha, Aquarius, air, fixed male. Here is also no exalted, no depleted. Okay. Now come back to 6th Kanya. Element is the earth, dual nature, female energy. Okay. Owner of the house is Mercury. Here, exalted is Mercury and the depleted is Venus. Okay, now we have to see, now we have to understand if I close this one, okay, because the Pisces is the seventh house, okay? So if you close this one, imagine what will be the Pisces exalted and depleted. just reverse this. Depleted is Mercury, exalted is Venus. If you can see in the Meena, if you go the 7th house directly, you can see exalted Venus, depleted Mercury. Okay, now come into the Tula. Tula is air and movable male energy. And okay, one important thing here you have to note. If you see, the owner of the Mars is the Mars having the two zodiac signs. One is the Mesha, second is the Vrikshika. In that, if you can see, one is the male energy, one is the female energy. And the Vrikshaba also, one is the female energy, and the Tula, that is the male energy. And if you can see the Mithuna, one is male, and the Kanya, female. And for now, we're come back to the Tula. It's air, movable, male energy. So that means it is also having the female energy. Okay. So that is Vrikshaba, that is the female energy. Okay. Now coming back to the Tula again. Owner of the house is Venus, and exalted Saturn, depleted Sun. Okay. This one you have to remember. Exalted Saturn, depleted Sun. Okay. Now come back to Vrikshika. Water element, fixed female energy. And exalted no, depleted is moon. Okay. So how you can refer this one? Exalted is from Vrikshika also, if you see the 7th house is Rishabha. So if the Vrikshika depleted moon means in the 7th house of the Rishabha, that is exalted is moon. Okay. Now come back to again Dhanush. Here Agni element, dual nature, male energy. Jupiter. Okay. So when you see this Jupiter having the two houses, one is Dhanush, second is the Meena. So here if you see, Meena is the female energy, Pisces is the female energy, and the Dhanush is the male energy. And here there was no exalted and the depleted. So that means this exactly the 7th house, 180 degree Mithuna didn't have anything. No exalted, no depleted. Okay. Now come into the 10th house, that is Makara. Earth energy, earth element, movable, and the female. Okay. So the Saturn have the two houses, Makara and the Kumbha. Makara is the female and the Kumbha is the male energy. Here, if you see this, in the Makara, exalted Mars and the Jupiter is depleted. We have to go exactly 7th house, that is Karkadaga. In that, exalted Jupiter and the depleted is Mars. Okay, then finally, Kumbha, sorry, not finally, 11th house, Kumbha, element is air, fixed nature, male energy. Saturn, there was no exalted or depleted. Now the last one, it is the water element, dual nature, female. Jupiter is the owner, and who is the exalted is Venus, depleted is Mercury. But if this was happen, then exactly go to the 7th house, you can see there's a reversed here. In Meena, exalted is Venus. In Kanya, depleted is Venus. In Meena, depleted is Mercury. In Kanya, depleted is Venus. Okay. Anyone have any doubts on this particular chart, whatever we learned till now? Can we move forward?
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. Now there was one more thing in this chart. What is that?
Hello, madam. Hello, madam.
Yeah, please go ahead.
What do you mean to say is, see, opposite to this 12th house, it is 7th house here. So there that will reverse this way, this exalted it will be reverse, na?
Yes, it is reverse. Correct. Yeah. What I'm trying to say here was, consider it as a Mesha. What is the 7th Mesha? 7th house is the Tula. Okay.
Tula.
In 7th house means, what is the meaning of the 7th house? If first house, 7th house means it is 190 degree in the angle. It was one straight line. So considered, not considered. Here, exalted is Sun. In the Tula, the Sun is depleted.
Yes.
In Mesha, Saturn is depleted. But in Tula, Saturn is exalted. It's the reverse.
Okay.
You understand this, the Ulta, right?
Okay.
Whichever it is exalted here, in the 7th house, that is the 190 degrees house, it will be depleted. Whichever it is exalted in the 7th house, it will be exalted in the 1st house.
Okay.
This point
Madam,
clear?
nice. One more point. Here you in the chart you mentioned here, Baba. Sun looks at 7th house. What is that? I didn't follow. You mentioned down aspects. Aspects you mentioned there.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to
Okay.
say
Okay.
next.
Sorry, sir. Okay.
Wait. Okay. Till now, whatever we see, you have any doubts? This one we are going to see now, right now. Okay. Except this one. Okay. Let's see this also. Okay. What does that mean? All the planets will look into the 7th house. What does that meaning? The planets which is reside in the house have whatever the benefits which is going to give. When the planets was looking, that means when it was like this. Okay, I'm standing, I'm looking straight forward. Okay, that means I'm looking that place also, right? So that place is also getting influenced. So how that place will be get influenced in the chart? When you are seeing direct one straight line means 7th house. Okay, so all the planet, all the zodiac signs in all the planets will have the one straight look. That means 7th house look. So all the planets will have an axis, have an influence on the 7th house. Wherever it was in, consider sun was here. Okay. Then it is also seeing, sun also looks at the 7th house. Okay. So whatever the thing aspects which is on the sun, it is also have to be taken into account wherever it was looking. For example, if the sun was here, then it looks at the 7th house means you have to consider the sun aspect, the sun influence also, because sun was directly seeing that place. Okay. So one point here, all the planets have the 7th looking aspect. Okay. Sun is also looking 7th. Moon is also looking 7th. Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, every planet was looking 7th house. Until clear? Okay, then there is the special look also. There are the three planets which have the special looks. Let's see the Jupiter. Jupiter have this special look. What is that? It looks the 7th house. As usual as the other planets, it see the 7th house as well. But the Jupiters also have the look on the 5th and the 9th, where consider the Guru was here. In the first Mesha, Guru was here. In the Mesha zodiac sign, the Guru planet was here. Then the Guru have the look on the 7th, that is Tula, and it is also have the 5th, that means Simha. Then the 9th, that is Dhanush. So 5, 7, 9, it's looking at these places because the Guru have the 3 vision. One is the direct vision 7, and another is the 5th vision, 5th house, and another is the 9th house, Bhagisthana. Okay. Let's come into the Mars. The Mars also have the 2 special looks additionally with the 1 normal look. One is the direct vision, that is the 7th house. And another is the 4th house. Imagine in the Mesha, again, the Mars was there. Okay. Then the usual look, there was a straightforward look, that is the 7th house, that is Tula. The Mars is looking the Tula also. But additionally, it is having the 2 more looks. One is the 4th and another is the 8th. That means Mars is looking Karkadaka, and Mars is also looking Vrikshika. Okay, 4, 7, and 8. Okay. Then coming to the Saturn. Saturn is also having the 3 looks. One is the straightforward 7, and another. Imagine in the Mesha you have a Saturn. Okay. Then the Saturn will have the 7 as usual, the straightforward look, Tula. And another is the 3rd one, Mithuna, and another is the last second special vision, that is Makara. Okay. So here you don't need to get confused. All the planets have the looks on the straight look, 7th house. Okay, imagine that. I mean,
So Saturn is looking at the 7th, 3rd, and the 10th house, right?
Yes, 3, 7, 10. Okay. Now I'm giving a tips for how you can remember that one. How you can remember all the planets have the looks at 7th house. First thing. Okay, remember? So every planet have the looks at the 7th house. Okay. Then the 3 planets will have the special looks. One is the Mars, Jupiter, and the Saturn. Okay, Jupiter position was 5, 7, and 9. And the Mars look was 4, 7, and 8. Saturn was 3, 7, and 10. Wherever it was there. For example, if the Saturn was in the Dhanush, then you have to count from here 7th house, 3rd house, and the 10th house. Okay. Okay. Now in the chart it was not mentioned. I'm going to say one more thing also. There is also Rahu and Ketu, right? Rahu and Ketu also have the 7th look, but it won't be go in this way. For example, if you are here, the Saturn or Mars was here in the 1st house. How you're going to count from here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Okay, but if you want to count the Ketu and the Rahu, you have to go in a reverse. Consider the Mesha was in Rahu was in the Mesha. Then it will look in the 7th house, right? So how you are going to count? You won't count into the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You go reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure you can see my cursor, but 1, 2. Imagine it was Mesha was in the Rahu. 2nd house, 2nd Meena, 3rd Kumbha, 4th Makara. You have to go in a reverse order to find the 7th house. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tula. So that's why it will go in a reverse direction. Okay. So that's the only difference between this Rahu and the Ketu and the other planets. Other planets will go in the normal direction, but this one will go in the reverse direction.
I have a point here, ma'am.
Hmm.
You're counting 7 houses, let's say in the anti-clockwise direction.
Hmm.
The 7th house will again be Tula. Whether you count it clockwise or anti-clockwise, it will be the same. So how does it make a difference?
Yeah, there is a difference. When you're counting, it was not, if you don't find the difference, but how it will make a difference. But in your birth chart, right, whenever there was the planet position was there, that makes it real difference. But right now, whatever it will say, because it was a straightforward look, it won't be give a much difference, because even if you're going the backside or front side, it will exactly come into the same thing. But when it was in the birth chart and the number of the planets was placed, that time when you are calculating and analyzing, it makes a big difference. That will understand in the upcoming lessons. Don't worry. I will show you that also. Okay. But keep remembering this one, it will goes in a reverse.
Okay.
But that really was a good question. I will tell you why it was a good question. But this is, if I say now, it may be appropriate one. I will tell you definitely. This was really a good question. You will get an answer for this definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah. I hope this one was clear. Okay.
Vinita, can you just explain when you say the planet is looking at the other planet and it's directly opposite the 7th house, then the effect of the exalted will also come on the 7th house, and the effect of the debilitated will also come on the 7th house.
Okay, you have to add everything on the layer. See, when comes into there is a one word called Vog. I forgot that word. When come into an astrology analysis, there was so many contradictions will come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 number of contradictions will come, but you have to analyze and you have to put it in one single context. Okay. So, okay, now come back to your question. So you were asking, there was sun was here when
Sun, yes. Yes,
when,
sun was exalted in Mesha. So in 7th.
Okay.
So 7th house.
Okay, then the sun, considered sun was in the Mesha. Then its 7th house, it will look into the 7th house. Okay, the sun was in the Mesha, it looks into the 7th house. Here the sun was depleted. Okay, so that means in that case, what you have to understand here, if the planets, if there was any negative giving planets was there, if the sun was looking, then you have to put all the analysis layered by layer, then find only one single context. That's why it was.
That I understand. What I'm saying is sun gives a good effect in this. Sun effect is more, and it is like you said 100% or something you said, but in here it is minus. So how does that what I'm trying to say here, it
Yeah,
is good
I
and here it
understand.
is bad. The
So
same
when,
sun.
okay, when the sun was in the Mesha, it was exalted. When it was looking into the 7th house, that is, the sun was depleted. How it is going to do that one, right? That's the question, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. The depletion is the meaning here was it won't be do all the time negative. It will be, for example, if the benefit was 100%, if the planets was giving 100%, it will reduce the effect. Okay, in energy level, considered in such a way, considered the sun was falling on you 100% and you will get the benefit 100%. When it is get depleted means the sun's energy goes away and it will be reduced and you won't get the benefit of the 100% of the sun's energy. You will get only 50% or 70%. When it was combined with the other planets, that won't be given that won't be giving a good benefit for you. That point in time, that the 50% may increase to 80 or the 50% may decrease to 30. Okay, in a simple way, even though it was when it was looking into the deplete the house which is the sun is going to depleted, it's only looking. But that means if the planet which is in that exact house, it gives the good, if it was giving a bad effect to the sun, then the depletion energy will be very high. If there were, for example, considered it were here, the guru was here, the sun was looking into the 7th house, which is depleted. But if the guru was here, it was an auspicious planet, it won't deplete any kind of the sun's energy. It gives the good vibration to that particular native. Is that clear?
Yes. Okay.
But this definitely it will become a confusion some point in time. Don't worry, this is the wonderful question, but it will get clarified when you analyze the chart more and more.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Let's move on. Okay, this is for our summary, which is where we learned on the last week. I just want to include this one so that you can revise. Okay, this is about which I said earlier in the beginning of the class, how the male's energy and the female energy will work. Okay, it's like a battery. Okay, if you see the in a battery, you can see the plus and minus signs, right? You exactly imagine that kind of an energy as the male and the female. The plus is the male energy and the minus is the female energy. Don't go with the exact meaning. That is a positive, this is the negative. So the male energy is good, female energy was bad. No. It was then opposite poles. That's the meaning here. Okay. What is the meaning of opposite poles? If the male energy was strong, the female energy will be very soft, very soothing. The female energy was aggressive, the male energy will be very soothing, calming, and it will nurture you. Okay, that kind of the energy level which I'm talking now. Okay, you can read it when you have the time. It's the same thing. It's not about the gender here, means it's not about whatever you're physically looking as a men and women. You have to see it as an energy level. Okay, now we are entering into the new chapter. We have 7 minutes of the time. Okay, I'll start in one lagna. We'll see the other lagnas in the next classes. Okay. In the 12 zodiac signs, I will show you this one. Give me a second. Okay. Lagna, you already know what is the lagna. Okay, that ascendant means nothing but your lagna. What is the lagna? That is your first house. Whoever the native which we are going to see, if the lagna was mentioned in any one of the 12 houses, then that is the first house of that native. Okay, lagna is the first house of the native. Now we are going to see the Mesha lagna. That means here, the first house. Considered, okay, give me a second. Here I'm going to give one more tip also. I will tell you that later. So in the Mesha lagna, consider the one native was having the Mesha lagna. Anybody was having the Mesha lagna here in the any one of the participants here having Mesha lagna?
Ma'am, in the Lagna chart, if the Lagna is in the first house, yes, ma'am.
The Lagna means in your birth chart. In your birth chart, if they mentioned is the La or ascendant ASC, then that is your Lagna. Lagna
Birth
is
chart,
the
Lagna
first
chart,
house.
or there is another chart called birth chart.
Okay, your birth chart only. In the birth chart, they mentioned as the La or ASC, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that is your first house. That is your Lagna. Okay.
Okay.
What is here the Mesha Lagna means? Whoever who born on the zodiac sign of the Mesha, that is their first house of that native. The native means whoever we are seeing the birth chart of. Okay. Okay, I will show you one example. Okay, consider to stop this one. Okay, I will show you one. Okay, yes, again. Okay, you see this the birth chart, right? Everybody can see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Here where you can find the ascendant, that is the Lagna. But in this birth chart, where you can find the Lagna.
Yes.
Virgo.
6th house.
It is Germany.
Oh wow, awesome. No Gemini, it's a Virgo, it's a Kanya.
I'm sorry. Kanya,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, it's a 6th house. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. That here, if for this the whoever the chart this belongs to, their first house is the Kanya, the ascendant. That is the Lagna. Okay. Then here the Lagna is the Kanya Lagna. Okay. Now which we are going to read, see now, the child or the any human who born on the Mesha Lagna. What is that meaning? Mesha Lagna means Mesha becomes the first house of that native. Okay. Now come back to our lesson. Okay, now the Mesha Lagna is, imagine there was a person born on the Mesha, zodiac sign on the Mesha. First house is the Mesha. Okay. So what are the things we have to remember whenever we are analyzing the chart? First thing, the Mesha is an Agni element. The element belongs to Agni. Then it is the movable character. Okay, what does that mean? Movable means they are really, really very fast in whatever they are doing. They speak fast, they think very fast, they do all the actions in a very, very fast mode, comparatively to with others. They read also very fast. Their listen is also very fast. That's why they are not properly able to hear others, because their mind will go fast. Then the tendency was ideally was sitting. It's not in the cup of the tea for them. But their energy was really, really strong, aggressive. They are very forceful. Okay. Then the owner of the house is Mars. Okay, here you have to note who's the exalted. Exalted is Sun, depleted is Saturn. So all the things you have to make it into note whenever you are seeing the Mesha Lagna. Okay. Then what is the another property you have to know? First house, remember every time the zodiac signs becomes the whatever the houses, the bhava which we are read, the 12 bhavas earlier, it becomes your zodiac signs. Okay, what is that meaning? The Kalapurusha's first house belongs to cell, physical body, general characteristics. That is the Mesha Lagna. Okay, now we are also seeing the Mesha Lagna. Here, what is the first house represent? It is the self, whoever which with the native which we are seeing about them, about their ego, about their physical body, about their general characteristics. Okay, all the thing will be mentioned in the Lagna itself. Okay, then these two set of the things we already understand. Then coming to the characteristic part. Okay, the Mesha is already is the owner of the house is the Mars. If the Mars was involved, exactly they are warriors. They are warriors means they are very strong, forceful, very, very ambitious. They know what they want to do. Whatever they want to achieve, they will make others also. If they want to achieve one goal, they use whatever they want, whatever they can reach, and they will achieve the goal however they want. Okay, but they are very, very dynamic. And they know what they want, how to make things done. And obviously, the peoples who are born on the Mesha Lagna, naturally, inbuilt property for them is the bold and courageous. And I will tell you one point here. Then you may ask, I'm also born on Mesha Lagna, but I'm not that much bold and courageous. Okay, then we have to look what are the planets sitting on that Mesha Lagna, and what are the other things of your characters, of your courage, which is affecting what are the planets, which is or in a depleted position or not. We have to see many things. Okay, but naturally, the inbuilt property of the Mesha Lagna is they are really bold and courageous. It's cosmic energies, inbuilt quality. And because of all this forceful action, strong and so much willpower in them, they are always adventurous. They want to do very adventurous things. The other peoples will think they can't. Mostly, I can't. They will achieve the unachievable dream also. That kind of the adventurous they can take. Okay. Mostly there was a frontline officer, means the frontline officer in anything. It can be on the military, it can be on any of the administration work, or any of the frontline officers. Okay. Mainly their feature is the go-getter. They know what they want to do, they know what they want to achieve. But their weakness is they act first. As I said earlier, their mind goes first. They will think later only. They finish the action. Then they will say, oh my God, I should do this in different way. I should do this in that way, this way. They will think later, but that won't help them because they already damage whatever they want to do. That's why they have, how they can reverse this weakness. They have to make a habit of think and act. Then if that was into their system, into their body system, they can utilize the Mesha energy, they can utilize the Mars energy very, very effectively. Okay, anybody was born on this Mesha Lagna? Okay, no one? That's awesome. Okay, we already reached the time. Till now, you have any questions? I see the chart.
Ma'am,
Mm,
ma'am, I have a question.
yeah.
Ma'am, when we say first, second, third houses, and we say Mesha, Vrishabha, Mithuna, is it compulsory that the first house will have Mesha in it? Or
Oh, okay, understood. Okay, okay. You have to understand in such a way. I'm going again back to the same chart again. That was really a wonderful question. I will tell you why. Here, okay. Here the ascendant, you see this different chart, right? Here the ascendant is in the Kanya, Virgo. Okay, but for the Kalapurusha, the first house is the Mesha. Okay. But whenever you are analyzing the chart, what you have to think in such a way that here the first house of the native is Kanya. Then you have to understand what are the properties of the Kanya. But underneath the activities which is belongs to the Mesha. So you have to see what is the Mesha is also doing. Okay, I don't want to confuse here. Okay, make it in a very simple way. As for this chart, your first house is the Kanya only. Okay.
Correct.
Your second house is the Tula only. Third house is the Vrakshika. Fourth house is the Dhanush. Okay.
Correct.
In that way, first house, second house, third house will go. Okay. I'm adding one more tip here. Kalapurusha's first house is the Mesha. Okay. But whenever you are seeing as the first house, okay, here there is a high chances, high probability you will get confused. But if you get confused, leave this point. Okay. Forget about whatever I said. Till now, you are clear, right? If from the ascendant, your first house, second house, third house, fourth house, okay? For that native. But whenever you are analyzing the chart, your first house is, for this chart, the first house is the Kanya, okay? But whenever you are analyzing, the first house is the Kanya, you know what is the first house property as well. But underneath, you have to consider the Mesha property also. The Kalapurusha's first house also you have to consider. Well, even if you are seeing the second house, for this native, the second house is in the Tula. The only one planet is the Ketu. Okay. So you have to understand what is the second planet, that zodiac sign, what is your second property, what is the second house properties, everything. But additionally, you have to seek the Kalapurusha second house also. Kalapurusha second house is the Rishabha. Okay, this is an additional point I'm telling you. But if you get confused, erase this one. You no need to understand this one right away. Okay. But till now you are clear, right? Whenever you are seeing the native, whenever you're seeing the birth chart from the ascendant is the first house, second from the ascendant, next is second, third, fourth, and fifth. Till now you're clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So Vanita, when you said that from the first house, you can see the seventh house. So that starts from your ascendant, wherever your ascendant is.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Madam, then this Kalapurusha, in this case, is 7th house means first, second, third, fourth, thing. It is in the Meena.
Yes,
Correct?
right.
For him, 7th house is Meena, then Kalapurusha.
7th house is Meena. How 7th house is
So for
Meena?
this ascendant reason, Lagna is in
Okay.
Kanya.
Yeah. For this birth chart, yes. Meena is the 7th house. Correct. Yeah.
Kalapurusha is
Kalapurusha's 12th house. Okay. Okay. Let's go one by one. For this birth chart, the ascendant is in the Virgo. Okay.
Virgo.
For the Kalapurusha, it is a 6th house.
Sixth house. The one in you have to take consider that also. Count that also. No?
Yes. You have to consider that also. That is why I said it is an additional.
Saturn is a.
Yeah, but you don't need to understand this right away. You just understand until this point. Ascendant is the 6th. For this native, ascendant is Kanya. Second is the Tula, Vrikshika, Dhanush, like that. Okay. But when we are analyzing the chart, we will add this tip on top of it. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very well explained, Vanita. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the class. If you don't have any question, can we close the section?
Yeah,
so carry forward from here in the next class.
Yes. Yeah. We are going to see all the Lagna, not only the Mesha. We are going to see every 12 houses zodiac signs as the Lagna.
Okay,
today we see the Mesha, right? Next week we'll see Rishabha, Mithuna, Kadaka, Simha, like that, all the 12.
Okay, right.
Now I think it will be interesting, madam.
Yes, interesting. In fact, we can't wait till next week now.
That's awesome. We'll see you all next week then. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am. Thank
God
you.
bless.
Bye.
Thank you, Vanita.
Thank you.
Thank you.